Hello, family. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to Build, Grow, Thrive Talk every week here on Mondays. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Um, appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. God richly bless you. Thank you so much. I am Coach Lola Owokoniran, and today we are having a conversation. I believe many believers, Christians, have wondered about, but we don't talk about it out loud. We don't ask those questions. Is investing biblical? Can I love God, honor God with my money, and still invest? Is building wealth somehow too worldly? Should Christians invest in the stock market? Have you ever wondered those questions? And does the Bible actually say anything about investing? Now, let me answer one part of that right away. You are not going to open your Bible and find a verse that says, "Thou shalt buy an ETF." You're not going to find in your Bible, neither would I see that in mine, Apple, Nvidia, the S&P 500, a Roth IRA, your 401k mentioned in the scriptures. No. But the Bible has a lot to say about how we handle resources. It teaches us about planning, stewardship, patience, yes, diversification, growth. It teaches us about risk. It teaches us about greed. It teaches us so much more. And yes, it even gives us the wisdom that we need for daily living as Christians. So today, I want to share with you five, five, five biblical principles every investor should know. One, two, three, four, five. Not because the Bible is an investing textbook. No, it is not. But simply because if we are people of faith, our financial decisions should not be separated from the values that guide the rest of our lives. But before we continue, a quick disclaimer here. This video is for financial education only. It is not individualized investment advice. Your goals, your financial position, your timeline, and comfort with risk matters when it comes to investments. So please, please, please consider your own circumstances before making investment decisions. Okay? And if possible, speak to a qualified professional to guide you around that topic. Okay? So let's talk. Let's get right into today's conversation. What biblical principles do we have written in the scriptures that highlights or teaches us or supports investing as a principle for wealth building? Number one, don't put everything in one place. Don't put everything in one place. Let's begin with Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 2. The verse talks about giving portions to seven, even to eight. Right there says a lot because we do not know what trouble may come upon the earth. Now, I want to be careful here. Solomon was not sitting there teaching an ETF class, no. But there is a principle in that verse that is very relevant to how we think about financial risk. Do not depend entirely on one thing. Investing is one thing. And in investing, we call that diversification. Let me make it very, very simple. Imagine you have a basket of eggs. Every egg you own is inside that one big basket. Then somebody bumps the basket and it drops, it falls. What happens? We have scrambled eggs, my friend. Everything is gone all at once. That is why diversification matters. You do not necessarily want your entire financial future dependent on one company, one industry, one investment, or sometimes even one stream of income. You don't want that. And this is something I want beginners especially to understand. You may really love a company. You may use their products. You may use their services every day. Or you might even work for them. Everybody online may be talking about that one stock. But like in a company and building a diversified investment strategy are not the same thing. They're totally different. Biblical wisdom acknowledges something very different here and very important. We cannot, I'm going to say this clearly, we cannot predict everything that is going to happen. We can't. We don't know which company is going to struggle or will struggle. We don't know which industry will change. We do not know what economic challenge will come 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years from now. So wisdom teaches us here and says, do not build your whole future around one outcome. That is principle number one. Spread your risk wisely. Diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That is the one principle that every investor should know when it comes to investing and building wealth. Principle number two, let's go to Proverbs chapter 13, verse 1. The principle there is that wealth that is gained hastily can disappear, while gathering little by little allows wealth to grow. Little by little. This talks about patience, consistency, and over time, your wealth grows. I love this verse because it pushes back against so much of what we see online today, especially in our generation, in our time. We want it now. We want the quick rich, get rich quick scheme. You know, we're in the microwave generation. We want it hot, we want it fast, we want it quick. Everything is now. Turn $100 into $10,000. Buy this before midnight. This is the next stock that is going to explode, the next big thing. Everybody is making money doing this except you. We see that all over. The pressure is there. And suddenly you're sitting on your couch at 11:47 p.m. wondering whether your whole financial future depends on clicking buy or sell before bedtime. No. Take a deep breath. Let's slow down. Let's calm down. Biblical wealth building is not built around panic. It is not built around greed. It is not around chasing every shiny opportunity or every new post or announcement. There is something powerful about little by little. A little saved consistently. A little invested consistently. A little knowledge gained consistently. A little debt reduced consistently. A little progress repeated over many years. That may not be exciting. I know. That may not be exciting enough for social media or for our generation this time because we want it quick. But it can be very, very powerful in real life, in reality. And this is where people sometimes underestimate themselves. We say to ourselves, well, Lola, I can only start with $50. Okay, no problem. Start with learning what $50 can do for you today. Maybe your amount is 100. Maybe it is 25. Maybe it's 1,000. Maybe it's 10,000. But take advantage of time and start today and be consistent with it. Maybe right now you're not ready to invest at all, but you are beginning to prepare financially. Yes, the amount matters. The amount you start with matters, but the habits that comes behind it matters too. You don't have to impress everybody or anybody. You don't have to impress anybody with your starting point, but you are building your future. That is the important thing. You are not performing for social media. Biblical wisdom reminds us that sustainable growth is often gradual. So, principle number 2 is do not despise small, consistent beginnings. Wealth is often built little by little. Principle number 3. This comes from the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 5. The plans of the diligent tend toward abundance, while haste leads towards lack. Now, this one is also very important because investing without a plan can quickly become gambling. Gambling. You need to know, why am I investing? Ask yourself, what am I investing for? What is the goal? What is the purpose behind the investments? What might I need this money for? How much risk can I realistically tolerate? What happens if the market goes down? Am I building for retirement, a future home, legacy, my children, financial independence? What are you investing for? Why are you investing? What is the assignment for this money? Because if there's no goal, every investment looks attractive. One person tells you to buy crypto, another person says real estate, someone else says individual stocks, another says index fund. Your neighbor or your cousin has a business opportunity. Your coworker has something you absolutely need to get into. And now your money is confused because you never gave it a destination, no assignment. Planning gives your money direction. Think about taking a road trip. You get in your car, you have a full tank, great. But where are you going? Where is the destination? If you have no destination, driving faster is not going to help you. You may just get lost. You will get lost or faster. The same is true with money. Making money does not automatically solve the problem if there is no plan for it. So before you ask, what stock should I buy? I really want you to ask yourself, what am I trying to accomplish here? That is a much better starting question. Principle number 3, invest with purpose, not on impulse. Invest with purpose. And please write it down. Write down that purpose. Write down the goal behind this action. Principle number 4 is seen in the book of Matthew, chapter 25, the parable of the talents. Again, let me clarify something. I would not use this passage to say Jesus commanded everybody to invest in the stock market. No, that is not what the passage is teaching. But there is a powerful principle of stewardship in the story. That is what I want us to draw out of it. Different servants were entrusted with different amounts. Two of them did something productive with what they received. One servant, because of fear, buried what had been entrusted to him. And this is where I want us to examine closely ourselves. Sometimes we say we are being careful when we are actually being controlled by fear. I don't want to lose anything, so I won't learn. I don't understand investing, so I will avoid it forever. My parents never invested, so maybe it's not for people like me. Oh, Coach Lola, I made a financial mistake before, so I'm never, ever, ever going to try anything again. There's a difference between wisdom and fear. Wisdom says, I'm going to understand the risk. Fear says, I would not move at all. I'm going to stay where I am, keep my money in my bank account, and guess what? It's fighting against your buying power, your purchasing power. Other words, inflation. Wisdom says, I'm going to educate myself. Fear says, man, this is too complicated for me. Wisdom says, I will start at a level that fits my financial reality today. And your fear is saying and thinking to you, I have to wait until I figure things out, until I know everything. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. And nobody knows everything. Not even the professionals know what the market will do tomorrow with absolute certainty. Only God knows tomorrow. Only God knows tomorrow. But our job is not to control every outcome. Our responsibility is to become wiser stewards of what has been placed in our hands. And stewardship is bigger than investing. It includes earning, saving, giving, protecting, planning, investing, preparing for your family, preparing for the future, and using resources in a way that aligns with your God given purpose. So, principle number 4 is do not let fear, FEAR, become an excuse for financial inactivity. Please learn, please prepare, please ask questions and make wise decisions. Now, I have to talk about this one, principle number 5, which is the last principle we're going to cover in this video. Because sometimes when people hear a Christian talk about wealth, everybody gets nervous. And I understand why. There's a very important difference between building wealth and worshiping wealth. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 20 warns us about being in a hurry to get rich. That principle is so relevant to investing today because greed has a way of making intelligent people ignore obvious warning signs. Somebody says guaranteed return. Red flag, red flag. Zero risk. Red flag, red flag. Everybody's making money. Come on, let's join in. Red, red flag. Oh, you have to get in on this today. Red flag. Another red, red flag. And greed whispers in your ears. But what if I miss out? That is how people get caught in scams. That is how people invest money that they cannot afford to lose, borrow money to chase investments, follow social media personalities without doing their own research. The desire to build wealth is not automatically wrong. No. Money can help you provide for your family. It can create opportunities. It can fund your God-given purpose. ministry, not necessarily within the four walls of a church. Yes, it can fund your God-given purpose. It can support charitable work. Money can help educate children, not just your biological children. Money can help you care for aging parents. Money can help create generational opportunities. Money can help our communities. But money makes a terrible master. Please don't let it rule you. Money makes a terrible master. So we have to constantly check our hearts and guard, not guide, not only guide, but guard, protect your hearts. Ask yourself, am I building wealth with wisdom? Or am I chasing money because I think more money will finally make me enough? Those are two very different things. Wealth should be a tool. Money should be a tool. It should never become your identity. Money should never define who you are in the eyes of God. Your portfolio is not your worth. Your net worth is not your self-worth. Your financial success does not determine how much He loves you. And your faith should never be reduced to a formula that says, if I believe enough, I will become rich. No. It doesn't define who you are. It doesn't express how much God loves you. It is not a negotiation of how much love or how much He blesses you. That is not biblical stewardship. So principle number 5, build wealth, but guard your heart from greed. Greed. So what does the Bible really teach us that can inform how we approach investing? What does it really teach us? Number 1, diversify wisely. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 2 reminds us, this is just a recap of everything we spoke about on this video. I want to go back and say that. The Bible teaches us, the first principle we highlighted on this video talks about diversify wisely. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 2. It reminds us that we cannot predict every future event. So wisdom does not depend entirely on one outcome. Principle number 2, build little by little. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 11 reminds us that sustainable wealth is often built through patience and consistency, not get rich quick thinking. Please. Number 3, have a plan. Proverbs chapter 21 verse 5 teaches the value of diligent planning. Know why you are investing before you decide what amount to invest in. What stock, what type of investment, or what amount to start with. Number 4, do not let fear bury your stewardship. We see this in the passage, Matthew chapter 25, the parable of the talents. It challenges us to think about how we manage what has been entrusted to us. And lastly, number 5, guard your heart against greed. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 20 reminds us not to become so eager for wealth, so eagerly to create wealth that disappears, wisdom. Don't be so eager for wealth that wisdom disappears. And if I had to summarize all 5 principles in one sentence, it will be this: biblical investing is not about chasing money. Please don't let that be your purpose. Don't let that be your goal or your drive to go into investing, no matter what it is. Biblical investing is about stewardship, stewardship, stewarding resources wisely, patiently, intentionally, and with the right heart, your mindset plays a very big factor when it comes to investments. So just to give you a recap, before you leave this video, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. What has God already placed in my hands? Am I managing it intentionally? And the last question I want you to ask yourself is, what is one financial area where I need greater wisdom? God-given wisdom, and seek his face on it. Maybe it's investing, maybe it's budgeting, debt, retirement planning, or maybe it's just learning before taking your next step. But write that one area down where you are seeking God for his wisdom and do something about it this week. Because stewardship is not only what we believe, it is what we do with the information. It is what we do with what has been entrusted to us. And if your answer is, Coach Lola, I want to understand investing, but I still feel like I need someone to break it down for me. That's why I created the Beginner Investing Intensive session specifically for beginners. This is where we move beyond the conversation and slow things down so you can build a stronger understanding of how investing works and begin making more informed decisions. You can learn more by visiting my website, www.iminiworld.com/webinars, as displayed on the screen and in the description section of this video. The link will be posted right there. Now, if this video helped you, which I hope it did and enlightened you in so many ways, please do 3 things for me. Number 1, like the video. Share it with someone who wants to build wealth, but also want to honor God in how they manage their finances, their money. And lastly, please do well to subscribe to the Coach Lola Owokoniran YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so you do not miss our next Build, Grow, Thrive talk. I would also love to hear from you in the comment section, if you don't mind. Which of these 5 biblical principles spoke to you the most? Was it diversification, consistency, planning, overcoming fear, or guarding against greed? Let me know below. I'd really love to connect with you and hear your thoughts on the topic. Until next time, please remember, build wisely, grow intentionally, thrive purposefully, and above all, be faithful with God, with what God has placed in your hands. Be great stewards. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for sticking with me. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.